Well, I've got some pictures of this, but I've got to weld this bracket where I've got the ground cable on, tack it in, and put a plate behind so that it doesn't come apart again because it broke. So I'm going to weld it in at least this side and then re-weld it again once I get everything out of the way to where I can do it a lot easier. So let me get this started. Because when you're putting pressure on the front, it pulls it apart, and that's what broke it. But I noticed that it's not going to be a difficult fix, but just a little time consuming. It's not a real expensive fix. It's just this back plate metal is too thin. It should have been quarter plate, quarter inch or heavier, 3/8, in order to be heavy enough to take the punishment, but it wasn't. So the way I've got this right now, it's holding in place, and I'm going to tack it in. Then I'm going to cut my plate in where I need it to go, but I'm going to have to take the cylinder out. I'll move it around. I've just welded two sides, so now I'm going to do the other, and then we'll go from there. I haven't did nothing, but I'll make it to where it goes down in between this and around this, and beef it up. I got a 16 by 16 plate for 20 bucks, quarter inch. So that'll add enough to this to where it should hold up. But I gotta mark it, get my marker. It's just getting everything and doing it's my problem. Motivation when you don't have it sucks. So let me get everything I don't need out of the way, and then I'll reset the camera up. And because I got too much weight on everything right now. so far. I'm sorry I don't do enough videos. Hadn't been feeling real great. So yeah, this is thin metal, and I'm gonna have to play with it, see what all I gotta do. I'm gonna have to wind up undoing this cylinder to weld up the inside. So I'm going to get tape measure, marker, everything metal. I just figured if I went and got this would make it a lot easier. I probably should have got smaller, but I didn't. I'm gonna have to play with it to see what all I gotta do. I set my ink pens down all the time to where I lose them. Not marking good enough, so I'm gonna have to use it yet now. Yellow marker. I think I can slide it under in, get it in, then do all the welding once I get everything cut. So this is where it's going to be, but I've got to do all my measurements around this and this one, and then I'm just going to bring it up here. Well, I'm just going to kind of draw this out for a minute. I think I know what I'm going to do to make it easier to put in and all, but let's see. So here's what I got going. I've got this laid out. What I'm going to do is cut these out, but I'm going to cut this straight across. Once this is cut out, I will cut it straight across so I can put this in, and then I'm going to cut cut it across here. So this goes all the way to here, right in here on the edges of this. I don't know, I may leave it to where it just goes on over a little more. I think I will leave it where this stays, and then I just weld it all in. I marked it wrong. So these will come out. I'm going to cut this straight across here, and then this is what comes out, and this comes out. This will be my plate to put in here. I'm not going to worry about the small section. I don't want to cut this line. This space I need, then this will be one piece here, and it'll give me reinforcement on this. This is what takes the support. So I'll give you a better picture tomorrow. If you can make heads or tails, this is what I'm going to use. It's 1/4 inch plate. I'm going to add to this. I'm going to cut it in 2 pieces where this goes on the back. This is on the back side, and it'll be on this. This piece in the center here, this T, is going to go down in here, and it'll go right across here, and I'll weld everything in, bevel it to where it all together to strengthen it, so that I don't have to cut very much out, and I can fit them in there. This one will go in on this side, this one will go on in, this will go in on this side, this will go in on that side, and this will be across the top and slide straight down. Then I can weld it up, and it's, instead of like, it looks heavier than it looks about like 1/8 inch. Stupid. Should have been 1/4 inch, same thickness as these, but it's not. It's 1/8 inch plate. So if you have one of these, you better plan on doing this. I've got my plan laid out now. You can see kind of how I'm going to do it. I'll make the video tomorrow when I get it all cut out and start welding up. I'm going to do it with 60-10 rod because I can burn through the paint that way, and I don't have to worry about cleaning up as much. But it will strengthen this portion here to where this plate here is not as heavy as this. This should have been a solid plate across, and it's not. I beat it back into place. There's nothing here to hold this to keep it from separating. I'll probably check and see if I can put a small piece up here in front to keep this from separating. But at some point in time, I'm going to have to take this off, this out, and when I put my plate in, and weld up in there. But this gives you an idea what I'm doing. So I'm going to put everything up and go from there tomorrow.